Hey there, my name is Pravus and welcome back to more Surviving Mars! Below and Beyond, playing at maximum difficulty. The patch that fixes the lack of natural disasters for new games has apparently been released into the base game. Unfortunately, we still do not have the patch that fixes games in progress, so that is still in work. But you know what? This is why we have Choji's wonderful mod. Hopefully it will keep me up and running for a good long while. We are building up a medium dome because I think we're going to go ahead and pull the trigger and start housing a load of population in one place. This is going to increase the number of renegades I have to worry about, but I think it'll have to be okay. Fair number of children over here. I'm a little bit worried about making sure that we keep our birth rate up and running as much as we can. My fuel refineries are off, and the reason they're off is because I'm trying to get some of these water towers going as much as we can, get them filling up, because I want to have a huge stockpile of extra water in the event that we do have a cold wave. Because we all know there's a good chance of that firing now that the mod is up and running. Something else we can do that will help with the immediate area, let's go ahead and place down a drone hub, let's say over here. I'm just pretty confident that at some point we might build another dome over here and over here and over here. That's going to all stem off of one central population hub. So I think that having a drone hub that covers all this area will make a lot of sense and eventually just make my life easier. Plus, I mean, the more areas we have to cover, the more drones we're going to wish that we had. So this will be good. We'll go ahead and set up some tunnels that connect all of these at some point soon. Let's see. We are going to need some additional solar panels. Let's go ahead and start constructing a few of these like so. Because you know a medium dome is going to take a fair bit of extra power. And you know something I wouldn't mind having is a power accumulator. We're gonna want to have a lot more power storage. With an extra dome requires even more power draw during the night, and we only have so many batteries that are able to handle that. So a power accumulator can not only have a huge amount of storage, but also has the maximum output, which just means we can handle a lot more before we pop a few fuses. All right, so there is my dome. We're gonna go ahead and change the skin and rename it to Chen after Nelson Chen, a supporter on Patreon. Thank you very much for your ongoing support. I do very much appreciate it. All right, so now we need to set up some tunnels. Now, I think what I'm gonna do is set up some tunnels that go between both of these domes. Apparently this stuff is all getting blocked. Hang on. We set up like this. That'll work. A little awkward, but all right, that'll work. And we'll do the same over here in a little bit. And the reason why is I don't want people who are living in this dome to have to walk through this dome and then they can't get into any jobs over here. Whereas if we simply rearrange some tunnels, we can make this a little bit more habitable, just a little bit, and try to maximize how much space we got to work with. In fact, once these things are both connected to the medium dome, we could get rid of this passageway and reorganize my housing yet again in order to free up a full triangle of space, which lets me place down some additional projects, like, let's say, a Martian university, or even more schools, or whatever the heck I want. I don't care. Doesn't matter all that much. So, let's see. We just finished up with these farms. We're going to go ahead and demolish this. Let's go to life support and place down a new farm, let's say right there. I will need to get some additional houses. We'll eventually do apartments, but for right now, that'll be fine. I think we're going to need a lot more oxygen production because this tank has not been filling up as fast as I would like. We're going to start drawing a lot more once you have an extra medium dome set up. We should have enough power keeping this going. What do you mean not enough power? I think it's just not pulling enough from the actual power network. But you know what? That's fine. Tunnels actually do connect life support as well as power. So we'll have that all connected in just a bit. Let's see. Once again, with these corners being what it is, we actually can't... We can't actually place a tunnel where I want them. Can we do... Wait, can I do... this? Yes, I can do... That's a bit weird. All right, fine. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, okay, great. Go ahead and place down some of these passageways, too. We'll get it all connected in just a little bit.
Funding received.
Funding received. That's great. Let's go to our cargo rocket and get probably some more machine parts. Not too much, though, just a little bit. This is just kind of an extra buffer, because as we have found out from all of the dust waves, or dust storms, the amount of machine parts we need just to get our power grid back up and running can be a little bit extensive, and I want to have a little bit of a buffer. We're trying to produce enough, dang it, but it just isn't quite enough, even with this full factory. What we're going to have to do over here at some point soon is actually set up a larger machine parts factory, and that's going to be the way to go. In fact, we can go ahead and just place that right now. Machine parts factory, let's say right there. We don't have to construct it this moment, but we'll go ahead and get it set up. Now, another thing we're going to need to get is a Martian university, which I guess I could go ahead and fit over here if I wanted to. And this will let me start training up the non-specialized. In fact, what I'll probably end up doing is getting rid of the electronics factory here and moving it elsewhere, or at least trading it in for a larger full-size one. Move all the housing back over here, free up this triangle here, and we'll have the non-specialized ultimately living in what's going to end up being a college dome. So we have preschool, kindergarten, grade school dome. We'll have college dome, and then, you know, where the normal people live. That's going to be the way that this is going to work. How's my power? Not great, actually, and we aren't even done as far as how much we're going to need in this area. Let's go ahead and start building out at least a few more of these solar panels. The good news is metals are relatively abundant for me right now, so we don't need a whole lot more. I also will need to get at least a couple of solar arrays plus some power cables to get my concrete production back up and running, because that is why we built these concrete extractors after all. Let's see. Go ahead and send you up over here. Make sure we have drones able to take care of that area once again. How are we doing as far as our oxygen production? Pretty good. I wouldn't mind placing down a spare oxygen tank, let's say right over here. I don't think that I need it exactly. It's always good to have a buffer, right? At the end of the day, always good to have a buffer, so that's what we're going to go for. Why is our power not... Our power is nowhere near as good as I would have thought it would be. Huh. I really didn't think we were going to drain this much. 30 power in a medium dome, and there's not even anything really built over here. It's rough, dude. We need people working over here on this farm. I'm going to go ahead and make it a high priority. We're using the cover crops to get our soil quality up while I have a buffer of food, followed by soybeans. And I guess at that point, we can go ahead and start alternating between the soybeans and the potatoes in order to get the absolute maximum yield of food. So the power accumulator's up and running, not charging up very fast, but at least we'll be able to hold on to a lot more. Why is no one building anything over here? What are you all doing? Why are all my drones doing absolutely nothing right now? There we go, starting to build up a little bit more. Draining a lot of power at night. Lots of power at night. It's a bit concerning. But we're okay. No power over here. Okay, hang on. So for some reason, we're not actually... Why are we not draining power out of the accumulator? I don't know, but we need to have power on at all times in the medium dome. So let's go ahead and turn off for now the moisture vaporators. That's enough power to get this back up and running. This drone hub is still dead for some reason, but once we get a bit more power, I think we'll end up being okay. Starving people, yes. How are we doing on birth rate? Still 4 children. That's looking okay. We have an unemployed person. We do. Well, in that case, I guess an extra person working at the small electronics factory will be fine, at least until we get this stuff set up. These factories will end up draining a ludicrous amount of power at some point. That's going to be a concern for me. But for now, we're holding it together. Gosh, I hate to say it, but I think more power. I'm looking at 44 power charging, and that's just not gonna be enough. It doesn't cut it. Cold waves! Okay, crap. So cold waves I hate. Cold waves need a lot of water, and they need a lot of power. We have one heater that we'll place over here, and I suspect we can protect all of our water buildings as well as these 2 domes. We're gonna need another heater that protects the medium dome and lemon soup, Chen and lemon soup. So, let's start planning out a subsurface heater over here, for example. Just kind of toss you in this corner, actually, and that's kind of the most efficient way to do it, sure. We'll also need to get some additional water production, and this is where the moisture vaporators are going to come into play. We haven't researched the ability to build our own, have we? I don't recall doing that. Maybe we did. I know I have the prefabs, but I don't think I found the tech that lets me do that. We're working on water conservation systems, by the way, and that is going to help a lot, reducing that water consumption. But with the cold wave on the way, this is a bit scary. Just a bit scary. We've got to have this set up for absolute sure. I think I can set up a moisture vaporator, let's say right here. And we'll go ahead and get another pipe set up like so. That'll be fine. We can probably place another one over here depending on how large the radius ends up needing to be. By the way, let's not forget to also set up some small little decorations. A couple of statues, a little thing there, a little small garden. I don't know, just little decorations that make people happy. You got the free real estate right here. You might as well use it. At least such is my opinion. All right, so here comes the moisture vaporator. Whoa, what? Okay. So you remember how I was saying that this map usually has 2 large cold patches, and for some reason they were never showing up, and I was wondering if they were removed? No, they're here. They just appeared because I built a heater? Does this mean that this is now going to drain 60 power? Oh, it might. This might get recalculated out to 60 power. It is! Oh my god! All right, we found another bug, guys. Oh, no. Okay. So I unknowingly have been building domes in a cold patch, which means this heater is now going to need to be running 24/7 in order to keep this down. I had no idea. All right, we've already managed to reduce this back down to 5, but you have to get the radius, I think, out to the center of the dome like this. And that, I think, will bring this back down to 30. It just needs to recalculate it. There it is. So instead of 60 power, as long as we spend 17.8 and keep this thing running at all times, this goes back down to 30. Oh, hokey freaking smokes. Also, why do we have so many unemployed people over here? What's happened? Why is no one working in the machine parts I don't know. All right. Well, That's a fun little bug that we hath foundeth for ourselves. Very fun indeed. Okay, we can't place this with a vaporator nearby. I don't want to place this here because it's going to get in the way of the door. Or does it? I don't know if it actually does. We can place you here then. And set up some more pipes. We need, apparently, more water generation because I have to keep this thing running at all times. I'm actually kind of upset about that. That does change the situation a little bit. It also means I need even more power generation in order to stay alive. Also, with the cold wave coming, let's get a third solar panel set up over here. We'll have these guys running in separate shifts, and let us set up a couple more solar arrays over here because this thing's going to need to be running. You guys are going to be off at night since obviously you're running purely off of solar power. We're not generating nearly as much power anymore. Thank you, cold patch. Gosh dang, that sucketh. That sucketh royally. So big. So bigly sucketh. I think we're going to need to turn on some of these turbines, and this is going to have to be a permanent addition at this point just to keep my power up and running so we aren't draining quite as much. I do need these guys on at night to start building back up our stockpile of water, or we're going to have problems here. We also will need to build out this subsurface heater. Leak detected. Where? Right here. Why? What the heck happened? Can you explain? I don't think you can. Don't tear that down, please. Right. Okay. Drone commander got blown up. How? What happened? Was there a dust devil that I just didn't even notice? Go repair this ASAP, please. Our water generation is going to be taking a nosedive at least at some point soon. All right, we can survive this. I'm very confused and upset. Water chip. Terminal beeps. Water chip for one of the domes has failed. It's going to increase by 400%. Okay. Spend money, get a new chip. It's not worth the risk. Now, it's going to be here in a couple of souls, which is going to take a long time, but oh well. Oh my god. What the freaking heck has happened? What has actually happened? Also, we have only 2 renegades. Why did so many people stop working over here all of a sudden? Why is our population back down to 40? We don't have very many children. Births should be allowed across the board. I think that maybe they're getting full and therefore we've stopped, but now we don't have to worry about it now that we have some extra space to work with. My comfort rating over here is terrible, but it'll start improving over time. We just need to give it a little bit of, we just need to give it a chance. Just need to give it a chance. It'll be fine. All right, we are generating water. Slowly, but we are. I'm making 113 power right now, so our atomic accumulators should be charging up. Thank you, wind turbines. They do a lot. Freaking heck. All right, 1 soul to go until we have a cold wave. Is there anything else I need to be working on? We should be generating a bit of oxygen, right? We're producing 4.5. It says we're not making any, but we only demand 3.7. We're making 4.5. We'll be fine here. If I have to start turning this off at night, we can. We still probably don't want to turn back on the fuel refineries because I have plenty of it, and they'll just take up water that I don't have. I kind of feel like we're going to need to import some more moisture vaporators pretty soon. I hate to say it, but I see that as being a likely future for me. Unless, of course, we get this whole water conservation system going. I'm going to go ahead and outsource and try to boost this up just a smidge. We have 4 jobs open. Why? I need our birth rate to go back up. Badly, or we're going to have a problem. Okay, we have our extra subsurface heater ready to go. We are covering, I think, the entirety of these domes plus all my water. Anything else? If I expand it out, will it save me more power? I don't think so. I think everything I could... Well, except for maybe that. Let me think. How much more... Yeah, it'll take too much power, I think, to try and cover this moisture vaporator for it to be worth it. So I think that's a no. We'll just have to accept that the power cost there is going to go up. All right, and we've preserved all of our water tanks, so we should have water, but I'll be honest, this is not enough. Not enough water for me to feel comfortable about the situation right now. What I probably should do is turn off the polymer factory. So we stop draining water over here, because we're going to need that fixed in a little bit. And also, the less people working out here during a natural disaster, generally speaking, the better. Although these guys are all Martian-born, so they probably can handle it a little bit. Let's go ahead and launch the Trailblazer once again, since we have all of our rare metals ready to go back to Earth. And how are we doing as far as our power generation or cost on a lot of this? Still looks pretty minimal, fine. An unemployed person? I'm sure they'll be able to resort themselves in a little bit. We'll open up a job over here in case they want to move into this dome. Let's go to these guys and alternate their shifts so that each draws 15 power. Now remember, during a cold wave, any buildings that are not protected by a heater are going to freeze up if they don't work at all during the cold waves. Having them work during only one shift at least prevents them from going from 0 to 100% maintenance cost, right? So at least alternating shifts keeps these guys going for the minimal cost, and we're producing 15 using these solar panels. I am making enough power that we are still able to charge up all of our batteries, so that's good at least. We are making water, not losing water, so right now, we are in a stable position. Oh, this is why! This is why all of a sudden we had a whole bunch of new jobs open up. I forgot to turn off the Martian University. We just built the dang thing. All right. Well, there it is. We are apparently going to be starting to graduate our first round of specialists, guys. Hey, specialists. That's exciting. First graduate coming in. What's he going to be? I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what our first round's going to be. I mean, we should be increasing our... We should have maximum training speed thanks to the fact that we did pick up the Martian-born adaptability tech. So that's great. If we could get some scientists specifically, by the way, that would let me go ahead and start rolling out more science and actually get more stuff. That'd be nice. All right, we're draining water during the night. That's kind of to be expected because this thing has to turn off during the night no matter what. That's just always going to be the way it is. Power-wise, we're okay. Water-wise, it's a little dangerous, but we're okay. I think we're still making enough water to be safe. Hokey smokes. All right. We're not going to get a lot of food out of this farm right now, but that was expected. Here comes the water chip. Thank you. All right. So the water consumption here has been fixed. So now we are making plenty of water during the day. All right. So now we're starting to actually ramp some up. Good Lord. Yeah, I got complacent with this whole, like, natural disasters not being a thing. It was nice. It was nice while it lasted. But now, not so much. Now it sucks. Now it's terrible. Now I hate everything I see. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a gym. We've never built one of these. And this would let me get some additional comfort here, which, by the way, is up to 77 in this dome. So, I mean, like, it's looking okay. I kind of want to move everyone out of this machine parts factory and move them all over here. And to that extent, we can go ahead and build this. The only problem is, remember, machine parts factories take a lot of power. One could argue that we should not be building this right now. That we should wait until this cold wave is done. But I am not one for convention. I just want to build it. I just want much better production, all right? I just want much better production. We're going to go ahead and shut this sucker down. But first, let's figure out what shifts we want to work with. We'll have just one shift for now. So we'll go from 6 people down to 5. I'm going to go ahead and reassign you guys over here. And the added advantage of doing this is we can move them over to a higher comfort dome. So hopefully my birth rate starts to pick right back up. Such is the idea. Let's go ahead and reassign you over there. Hey, is that an engineer I just saw? It is an engineer. We have an engineer. Our first person trained at university is an engineer. That's appropriate. All right. Well, the unemployed people will figure out where they want to go in a little bit. In the meantime, we should see. You know what? Okay, hang on. We're not allowed to have. No. No seniors are allowed here. No children either. Get them all out. This is a birthing dome. All right? You go where you belong. In green pastures, specifically. That's where I want you to go. All right, so yeah, 2 seniors, 3 children. All right, so we're getting our birth rate back up at least a little bit, but not great. Not fantastic. We just graduated a few more people. Okay. So what do we have here? We've got 5 engineers. 5 engineers have trained themselves up. How exciting. We need to go ahead and get these factory upgrades to maximize how much we gain there. And you guessed it, we need more power. Because this thing's about to drain a heck of a lot more. We'll go ahead and turn this on. And with 5 people, we can make 4.5 machine parts. And that's before I even do my upgrades. See, this is why I wanted to get rid of this stuff. We'll go ahead and take you out of here, so we don't even bother with any of the maintenance anymore. Might as well. Now, I wish you could regain, like, some of your upgrades here, but no. We definitely sunk a lot of cost into this, but at the end of the day, I think this is going to be better. You always want to have the full-size factories where you can. It's just better. Just always, always better. So now we're making 5.7. Yeah. Now, remember, also having Katniss Orbit being an engineer helps a lot, too. Where else are the engineers going? They're apparently making me electronics. So we are going to start making a lot of electronics. But yeah, with 1 shift and another upgrade to come, lots more machine parts. Thank God. All right. This is good. This is really good so far. Another thing we're going to do, we're going to go to the homes. And once again, we're going to rip up all the existing real estate. I don't care. We're tearing all your homes up, and we're getting rid of this stupid tunnel. I don't know what else we want to place over here. I just know that it frees up a lot of space. So take that. Turn off. Turn off. Turn off. You all can reassign to these homes, just like that. Now tear them apart. And then we'll get rid of this tunnel, like so. And that frees up a whole new triangle for me to work with for the exact same benefit in this dome. Okay. We're all right. We're alive. I know I haven't had to use many jump cuts in this video, which is a bit weird, but, like, we're okay. The cold wave is manageable. It's pushing it, but it's manageable. We're okay. I would absolutely love to boost up the polymer factory, and now that we're getting engineers and I can start spending a lot more electronics and machine parts, like, we should absolutely be doing that. More non-specialized have decided to start moving over here into the Martian University. So we're definitely starting to have some problems with jobs in a few spots. An engineer over here should not be working there at all. Hold the phone. Pull you out. Engineers, work here. Okay? Geologists can work over here. You want to go work over there? Go get re-educated. All right? I could reduce how many people are over here, but frankly, our economy is surprisingly still trucking along despite the fact that I am lacking 5 people from the workforce. By the way, cover crops go away. So now we have soybeans on the way. That's 90% soil quality. Okay, good. Food, still have enough in reserve. We're all right. I will at some point want to start increasing the number of people who can work in the diner so we can service more folks, but until I start seeing a comfort issue where people can't get their food, we'll be fine. There's the food shortage, I'm aware. Sanity and stuff is going to be going down, but that's mostly because, guess what? We have a cold wave and people don't like it. We are making solid progress on the water conservation. We're almost 2/3 of the way done with it. That's going to solve a lot of water issues. For sure, it's going to solve a lot of water issues. I would be tempted to place, like, nurseries over here so we can have more children. Now, question, can children become renegades? Is that physically possible in the game? Can children become renegades? If they cannot, this might be one of the few exceptions where this microdome actually should be nothing but nursery housing and schools. kind of crazy to think, but like nurseries actually can house more people than a living quarter, but it's only for children. Only for children. I need to actually look that up. I don't think children can become renegades, and therefore, this dome, despite going over 15 pops, isn't a problem as long as we kick out all non-children once they are done. We could actually tear down this housing, make room for a second school, and have 3 sets of nurseries and house 24 children in this dome specifically in Luepke. And it becomes nothing but a grade school dome. It's a thought. I'm not sure if it's a good thought or not, but it is a thought. Where are the other engineers? They're all working here. How many other people do we have right now? Let's see. Still nothing but engineers. These guys are only graduating there. Tell you what, we're going to start graduating only scientists for a little bit. Because as much as I love having engineers, and it is great, I really would like to start boosting up my science production. We've been stuck at only about 600 for way too long. So if we can have more science, that would be a wunderbar. Absolutely fan-flippin-tastic. Let's go ahead and place down some additional food storage. I'm guessing over here is fine. We'll do that. Just because this is where the farm is located now. I'm still happy to have this food depot over here where it's easier for people to drop stuff off, but you get the idea. We can actually make room for like a Hawking Institute over here and get rid of this research lab when we are ready to move over to all children. If we are ready to move on to all children. I don't know. I haven't really fully decided yet. The one problem I have with the Martian University is it does take a lot of electronics. But you know what? If it produces engineers that get me a lot more electronics, it's worth it! Okay, we have 4 children being born again. Okay, so yes, population rate is getting back up to where I was expecting. We want to have 4 or 5 children at all times. Cold wave, 2 more souls. Once this cold wave is done, we can turn off a whole load of these extra solar panels that I built up because we're not going to need that much power. I am worried about polymer production. Right now, we're producing absolutely none. But again, with engineers, we're going to be fine. And then I'll be able to turn off at least one of these heaters, save the water, and just divert it over to the polymers. This thing, unfortunately, is going to have to be on all the time. I'm still so confused that placing down a heater triggered the cold patches that we didn't have before. That's just a little unfair, ain't it? And it was like, we literally had... It only triggered the extra power draw once it appeared. It's not that it was hidden, it's that it literally didn't exist until we placed down a heater. That's just weird. That's weird, brah! Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and launch you right back. I know we are low on some resources, but I think we're honestly fine. Unless... one more moisture vapor. Just one more! I have a feeling that getting one more will be enough. Alright. Engineers, no! You don't, no! You don't work in the farm. I'm an engineer, and I know that we are made for more than agriculture. Go work in the machine parts factory. Now we're making 7.7 per soul. Heck yes, my production is going to go up. I love it. I love what I'm seeing. Now remember, as we start building out more and more population in this medium dome, I will be placing down some apartments and stuff, but we are also going to need security stations and stuff because renegades are going to be a problem here. We don't need to build this right now, but let's just go ahead and think that through. We are going to need that. I'll also want to get an amphitheater at some point. Not in a second, but because now that we are getting some more skilled labor, as they gain new specializations, they gain new interests, and having things like luxury will make a lot of sense. I might consider placing down a space bar, except it takes extra workers, which I'm not a fan of. Same with the Logi amusement park, even though they are pretty fun. Anything else that doesn't require extra workers? No, we just need to have a lot of extra workers to get more services. So this is kind of the best that I can hope for, at least for a little bit longer. All right, 7.7 machine parts coming in. That is so good. It is so very, very good. Yeah, I feel like this has been a huge leap forward for me. We're looking really good. I'm low on things like my concrete. And honestly, we're not gathering as many metals as we have been in the past. So let's keep in mind, we're gonna have a couple of new crises very soon where we run out of underground water and we run out of underground rare metals, and we're getting lower on things like concrete and metals itself. So the very basics are soon going to be a problem, and I'm going to have to start expanding beyond this, literally just to extract some much needed resources. That is going to happen. And soon. But for now, we're in a good place. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, make sure you hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.